Yesterday was a tough day. We laid to rest a very kind man who was my boss. And in our hearts, we feel that he's gone far too early. He leaves behind a family who loves him and many friends who love him. And it's really hard when that sort of thing happens, especially to someone as young as he was. What do you do with stuff like that? How do you deal with it? I'll talk about that in just a second. You know, we never know when our time is up. We never know when our number will be called. Death can come to us at any time, and that's concerning. That's something we should really consider and think about. That's something that should be in the forefront of our minds, not in a morbid way, but just in a understanding. That it is appointed unto man once to die, and after this the judgment. Well, what's our judgment going to be? Well, that largely depends on what we do with our lives, doesn't it? But the point I want to make today is, how do we spend those lives? What do we do with those lives that God has given us? And what do we do when someone that we care about, or that's what we consider to be a really nice, decent person, something terrible happens to them? What do we do with that? How do we understand it? You're looking for answers just like I am. And I'm here to be honest with you and straight with you. I don't have any answers. I'm not going to tell you that it was God's plan. I'm not going to tell you that God needed someone. I'm not going to tell you that that's just how it's supposed to be. Because I don't know what God's plan is entirely. There's no way for me to know what God wants or what His will is all the time. I know what His basic will is, and that's for me to love other people as I do myself, and to love Him with all my heart, soul, and mind. But beyond that, it's pretty tough to kind of discern what God exactly wants from you. Exactly is His plan. We don't understand it. He tells us that His ways aren't our ways, and that we see through a darkened glass, and we don't fully understand and comprehend things. But there are some things that I do comprehend. And so when tragedy like this happens, when someone passes or something awful happens to somebody that I just can't reconcile, I don't try to get an answer. You know, we want answers, but I just don't try to get one. I chalk it up to the fact that we live in such a fallen world that anything is possible. Anything bad is possible. Do I believe that it's God's will for a child to pass away from awful disease? No. Do I believe that it's God's will for people to suffer and die? No. God created something perfect. We're the ones who wrecked it, and we've allowed Satan to overcome it. And he is the one that has ushered in sin and unkindness and nastiness and death. God is the opposite of that. He is life and peace and love. I don't have answers when things like this happen. I wish I did. I'd sure be a handy fellow to have around if I had the answers, but I don't always. I will tell you this, though. We can allow it to make us bitter and fearful and angry and all of those things, or we can allow it to spur us on to greater heights of kindness, joy, peace, and the spreading of fellowship throughout the world. And today, I challenge you as I challenge myself. I want to be kinder. I want to be more loving. I want to be more understanding. Not compromising what I know to be right, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I am treating people the way Jesus treated people, even questionable people. We need to be very careful how we behave. We need to look at the examples around us and think, we need to be better. I think that we should take these tragedies that occur in life to remind us just how short and uncertain life really is. Don't waste yours. Don't waste it on bitterness and anger and hatred and unkindness. Spend it with peace, joy, and most of all, love. I love you, whoever you are. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and be kind to each other.